Hi, I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot. Welcome to 10 Talk Tuesday. Today I want to look at tarot and meditation, how you can use the cards to help you in this endeavor. Hi and welcome back. Okay, so today I'm going to be looking at meditation using your tarot cards. And although meditation has many different meanings for many different people, I'm going to be sharing with you my idea of what meditation is and how you can use meditation combining it with tarot cards. Now, the very first way that you can do it is probably the simplest way, and it's probably the way that most people would use tarot decks, tarot cards, to aid them with their meditative practice. And that is by picking one card and actually focusing on the meaning of that card. So where I would pick, say, the Two of Swords, okay? Just sit quietly and meditate on the meaning of what that card is showing you, okay? Both the textbook meaning as well as what the textbook meaning means to you. So that is a way of actually meditating using your one card draw. The other way that you can meditate using a one card draw, I call it a focal pull. So what you do is you again pull the card out of the deck, okay? But instead of focusing on the card meaning, you focus purely on the actual image of the card. So you would take yourself via a meditative state into the actual world that card is representing. So let us say you are dealing with a fairy deck, okay? You would then use whatever image is on that card. So let's say you choose the Six of Cups. It would, let us say that it's a fairy drawing of little fairy children and the fairy castle in the background and the little fairy garden. You would, instead of looking at the actual meaning behind that card, you would absorb yourself into, or you would allow the card to absorb your consciousness into that picture, that setting. And in this way you can meditate on where would you be, how would you be, what would you be doing within that setting. Now, again, using one card from a deck, you can do something called shadow work. Now, this is very contentious. It's a very contentious subject, and I know many people have been doing this for many years, but it is quite contentious because some people say it's a load of bollocks and other people swear by it. There's no kind of middle ground with this one. Shadow work is, for those who don't know, is using cards, specifically dark deck cards, to look at your shadow side, to bring out the shadow side of your personality. It's a lot more complicated than that, and I would really recommend you go and look how to do this because it is pretty life-changing. Draw a card from your deck, and then you would look at how this card, meditate on the card, really focus all your attention on that card and see how that brings up feelings of anger, feelings of resentment, feelings of pain, feelings of sadness. Looking at the shadow side, or the flip side of the coin within yourself. And this is how, using your deck combined with meditation, you can actually go that much deeper and get that much more out of your shadow work. Instead of just taking a card, looking at it, and then writing down the quick emotion. Really get into that meditative headspace. Okay. What you can also do is you can look at doing a spread. It can be a simple spread, a 3-card spread. What I like to do is I like to do maybe instead of doing an actual sort of like the Celtic cross spread, I would just lay out, say, 6 cards, okay? Or sometimes if I'm very brave, I'd lay out 10 cards. And then, as if you were reading Lenormand, you would focus on those 6 cards, let's say, and you would meditate on those cards, and not only on the cards, but on the interaction between the cards. Look at all those cards as a whole, okay? Don't concentrate too much on the meanings. Don't try and do an actual reading, all right? That is not what we're doing in this scenario. We are simply looking at the cards and seeing the feelings that the interaction between the cards brings up, purely on a surface level. Look at the images. What do the images say? How do the images interplay with one another? Meditate on that, on the imagery that you see, okay? Let all thoughts of trying to interpret the reading as a reading just filter through your mind. It's going to happen. You're going to want to interpret the reading, but don't get too drawn up in that, okay? Try not to get too caught up in the meanings of things. Just look at the pictures and allow the visuals to float across your mind and to kind of stimulate that meditative state, or use that meditative state to stimulate the imagery that passes through your mind, okay? The fifth way that I want to chat about, some people would say it's more contemplation than meditation, but sometimes I think the two go hand in hand. I believe that meditation doesn't have to be sitting around chanting mantras and staring into candle flames. Yes, that is meditation, but I don't believe that is all it is. I don't believe you have to only do that. The fifth way of using your deck for meditation is to meditate on the outcome and meaning of a spread. So the fourth way was just putting 6 cards down and then looking at the imagery, not focusing on the actual reading, not trying to do an interpretation. That's number 4. Number 5 is taking it that's one step further and looking at the interpretation of those 6 cards. The same 6 cards, or a different set of 6 cards, or even a reading. You could do a horseshoe reading, or you could do the Celtic cross if you're very brave. And then look at that reading and the outcome of the reading and the meaning of the reading, and meditate on that, or contemplate. All right. To me, I tend to have a problem differentiating between contemplation and meditation, but I know there are going to be many of you who disagree with me here. That is fine. That is fine. Find what works for you. If it is meditation, a deep meditation, if you find meditating is deeper, which I think sometimes it can be, use that. If you find that you're not quite ready to meditate on a deep level, then use contemplation. Contemplate what you're seeing. Contemplate the picture. Contemplate as a focal point. Use those spreads as contemplation boards, as it were. Okay. It's a very simple process. Meditation is not something you have to study. Everyone says, I have to go and learn to meditate. I don't believe that you have to be taught how to meditate. Have you ever had a situation where you're in your car and suddenly you're at work? You don't even remember how you got there. That is when your mind kind of switches into an alternate state and suddenly you're at work. That's meditation. Okay. Meditation for me is any time that your mind is pulled out of the present. Okay. Anytime your mind is pulled out of the present. All right. That is what meditation is for me. So I do hope that you will now take these 5 suggestions and use them. You'll be amazed what a little bit of meditation every day does. It helps you. It really does help you. And I can say that if you are brave and you do want to see your shadow side, shadow work is an amazingly empowering activity to do. It certainly has helped me in so many ways. I can't even begin to tell you. But that's a video for another day. I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot saying, I'll see you on the flip side.